Welcome to our telephone town hall meeting we're having. We're going to discuss why to vote no on issue number 2. On this AFSCME call, I'm going to be first handing this off to Chris Mabe. He's the president of the Ohio Civil Service Employees Association. Chris, if you could take this away and start the conversation tonight, that would be great. Go ahead, sir.
Absolutely. Good evening, sisters and brothers, and thank you for joining this important call. The last before Ohioans head to the polls tomorrow to vote no on issue 2. I'm Christopher Mabe, president of OCSEA. Joining me tonight are John Lyall, president of AFSCME Council 8, and Joe Rugola, president of the Ohio Association of Public School Employees, OAPSE Local 4. Also joining us is Kim Massengill-Bernardin, an expert on the anti-union law we are fighting to currently overturn. Kim will speak at the end of this call to explain exactly what's at stake for all of us tomorrow. Across the state, our Ohioans are pulling together in a Main Street movement. We are united to defeat issue 2, and I'm proud that members of OCSEA, OAPSE, and Council 8 are leading the way. I can honestly say that I've never been prouder of the sisters and brothers of AFSCME than I am right now. We've been standing together and standing strong since Governor Kasich began his attacks on collective bargaining. Our dedication and conviction have gotten even stronger since those winter days. We could tell early on that sentiment was on our side. I know it seems like a long time ago, but who could have guessed back in the spring that we would break all records and collect more than 1 million signatures when we made history, and we're poised to make history again. I know all of you have been working hard, and we all appreciate everything you've been doing, and now it's crunch time. We need you to keep going for another 24 hours, and most importantly, you need to vote if you haven't already done so. You've all seen the polls that are predicting a victory, but the only polls that really matter are the ones that will open tomorrow. While we have reason to feel good about where things currently stand, considering how far we've come, none of us should get a false sense of security from the polling because the numbers are incredibly optimistic and unlikely to resemble the final margin. Special elections are extremely difficult to predict. No one on our side can afford to sit home because they don't think their vote is needed. We must implore all supporters to keep working and finish the job we set out to do. Once again, I thank you for getting up early, staying up late, and calling so many people that you feel like you're dialing phone numbers in your sleep and working your hearts out against issue 2. It's up to us tomorrow to determine whether public employees will still have a voice on the job.
This is Kurt, and I'm going to do a little polling question if I can. The question is, have you voted? If the answer is you have voted, then press 1. Press 1 on the keypad on your phone. Simple question. Please press 1 on the keypad if you've already voted. We appreciate your participation. The second piece of business is we have some questions we've gotten from the audience tonight, and we're going to ask our speakers, our co-hosts now, those questions. The first question is from James from Columbus, and his question is, I've been working very hard to repeal Senate Bill 5, but I'm worried that all the polling makes people think that it's in the bag and it doesn't matter if they actually vote. What should I say to those people who think that? Who wants to take that, please?
John Lyall will take that. First, thanks, James, for your question. I would say to you, you have to throw the polls out. Obviously, our biggest enemy here is apathy. And I would tell the members that, polls don't vote, people do. And by way of example, Joe alluded to it earlier, vote for Governor Strickland. If you look back at last year at the polls, Kasich was actually 17 points up on Governor Strickland. And we came back to close that margin by about little less than 2.5 points. And we did that because we didn't believe the game was over, right? The other side, they have good teams, they have a good player. They don't believe it's over for 1 minute. They have dumped millions of dollars into this, as you know, by watching the commercials this weekend. They have phone calls up. They have folks like Stephen Baldwin calling young people. They have Pat Boone, of all people, calling senior citizens. They have heavy mail campaign. We have to have a large enough margin in order to send a chilling effect on what's going on. And all you have to do is look at examples of our sister affiliates over in Indiana. 6 years ago, 25,000 of them lost their collective bargaining rights, didn't believe that could happen. We had the same thing in Missouri. They were shocked that they lost their collective bargaining. And all you have to do is look right now to Wisconsin, where almost 250,000 folks, our sisters and brothers, lost their collective bargaining rights. This is not a done deal. It's only a done deal if we do our jobs. Everybody has to do their job. Everybody has to fight until the final vote is cast, until the final bell rings. And if we do that, we're going to win, If we don't do that, we're going to have what just Kim said. We won't have collective bargaining in this state. We will have collective begging. Thank you, James, for your question.